Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead with a water break. Well, it's evening, so I'm not drinking tea. Okay, this is going to sound like I'm complaining, but it's really about gratitude. I'm in a lot of pain. And have you ever had one of those days that you knew you never should have left the house? Okay, I had one of those days, all right? I am a member of a credit union in Ottawa, but it's an online. My account is all online, but I can use our local bank without fees for their bank machine. So it's the only one I can use is that branch or that bank, the National Bank of Canada, right? It's the only one I can use my Meridian credit card or my Meridian bank card without fees. So Briar called me. You want to pick me up? His bike's broken. Can I pick him up from work? Take his bike in? All that stuff. Yes, yes, yes. He's going to go shopping with me, right? So today was the day I was going to do the big shopping video. You know what God does when you plan? He laughs and does this. Because remember Job, right? Or Job, excuse me. Anyway, I was raised on a lot of superstitions, and I don't hold with them much. But there's one superstition that I had proved true more than once. There were several of them, but the one was, if you put a piece of clothing on accidentally inside out, you can change out of it and put something else on, but you dare not turn it back right side in and put it back on. It's really bad luck. And I went to Arthur was a toddler. I was at my sister's house, and she had a friend over, and they were visiting. She was up from Toronto, and I was visiting Wendy, and I put Arthur's pajamas on, and the shirt was on inside out, and I went, oh. And Wendy goes, Bev. And her friend Colleen started laughing. They said, you really think that, it's just a superstition? And I said, you're right. You're right. I peeled the shirt off of Arthur and then put it right back on him because I peeled it off, turning it right side in, put it back on him, and I was just pulling it down, and the phone rang. And it was Howard. He had broken the glass on the wood stove door, and he had to stay up all night or until the fire went down. And it was our drinking day, so there was another worry. So after that, if I put a shirt on inside out, and I was in public, okay, let's go. So I never even noticed, right? So I go to Tim Hortons, and because lately all I get when I go to Tim Hortons is a cup of tea and or a breakfast sandwich, because even the chili fries they upset my stomach now. And they always give me the hard, crusty ones from the bottom of the bin that they hope you'll never notice because they're soaking them in chili. I noticed. I stopped buying. So I always get the same thing. If I'm getting something to eat, I get what works for me. And I get a bacon, sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich on a 12-grain bagel. And I get it like that because it's probably the only thing I'm going to eat all day when I'm out and about. So I go to Tim Hortons. And I thought, I'm going to be picking Briar up at work. I'll get him a sandwich, and I'll get him a cafe mocha and get myself a tea and a sandwich. So I checked my tea. Thank you very much. It was correct. Didn't check my sandwich because they've only ever screwed it up once. They forgot my sausage once, which really upset me, right? So, but I'm learning, right? Like I'm learning to control my temper. But not control my temper, I'm learning that, getting angry doesn't solve anything, right? So I go, I go to pull out, and I'm back out. I'm out of the drive-through. And I'm starving, right? So because I haven't, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't eaten since 5:30 in the morning, right? So I open it up and I take a big bite, and it's a bagel belt. Now, what a bagel belt is a breakfast sandwich, right? It is bacon, egg, and cheese, and lettuce and tomato on a bagel. If I wanted lettuce and tomato and bacon, I would have gotten a BLT. I did not ask for a bagel belt, but I did not have the time to go back through the drive-through and correct them, nor did I have the time to get out and go in and say, again, you screwed up, because I was picking Briar up from work. So that should have been my first clue. Second clue should have been, I picked Briar up at work, and we went to the bank, and I asked him to go into the bank for me, because one of the things about shopping is I only have, you know, the eggs in the basket thing? I only have so many times that I can get in and out of my truck and still shop and still function. Okay. And it doesn't matter if it was a compact car that fit my butt. Getting in and out of a vehicle exhausts me if I have to do it more than 4 times in a day or in a stretch, especially when I'm shopping, because I'm constantly on the move. So we get to the bank, and I gave my son my bank card and said, will you go in and get me some cash? And he came back out and doing this. And he said, it's telling me that your card won't work. And I said, what do you mean my card won't work? Because my only other option is to use an ATM where they limit you to a certain amount every time you take it out, and they ding you $3 to $4 every time you go back for more. So I went in because I was trying not to get out of the truck. So I went in to the bank, and sure enough, it didn't work. So I went to ask the bank why this would be a problem. I phoned my credit union. Thank God it's my credit union, because they never put me on hold. They put me on hold for 10 minutes. So I finally got through and said, it's not working. And they went on their end and they said, there's nothing wrong with your card. And I said, well, I beg to differ, because I'm standing in a national bank. And they said, well, you know, sometimes, I didn't say I'm standing, I said, I beg to differ. It's not working. It's been tried 3 times. I'm afraid it's going to get chewed up. And they said, well, sometimes when you take out, say, $200 and you want more, you have to go back in. If you punch in $300, it won't give it to you. And I said, I am at the National Bank. I am at their bank machine. The only bank machine out of all the banks in Canada, other than the Meridian Credit Union, that will allow me to use my Meridian Credit Union card without penalty. And he tried to tell me again, well, maybe it's an increment thing. And I said, tell you what, honey. And I kept him on the speakerphone, and I walked over to the bank, and I said, you're going to go through this with me. So I told him, and I said, it says this card does not work. Contact your bank. So I said, I just contacted you. He said, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And I said, thanks a lot. I left. So Briar goes, what are we going to do? You going to go home? And I said, no. I said, you're going to go into the convenience store, and you're going to buy a bottle of pop or a can of Coke or something, and you're going to use my bank card. And if it works, we're on. We're going shopping. Should have known better. Yep, worked. He got himself a bottle of pop, and away we went. So I realize now I'm tired already, and I haven't even gone shopping yet. And I had plans to go to Food Basics, Walmart, and Bulk Barn, and maybe Canadian Tire. But so I thought, Briar goes, do you want to go home? And I said, no, I got to get stuff done, right? I'm not, I don't know how many more, the weather is, you know, changing. I don't know how many more times I'm going to be able to get out to do any Christmas shopping, anything, without Daddy with me, right? So away we went. And I said, but let's skip Food Basics. I don't have a trip all the way. Now it's 5 o'clock. I don't have a trip into Ottawa in me. We'll just go to Hull, and we'll go to Walmart, because I needed to use the photo center and Bulk Barn, and I can get a few things that I needed at Walmart. I know, I'm dragging on. So we get into Walmart, and I realized that, oh, that's right, they've turned it into a super center. The photo mart that they used to have, where I used to take my, disposable cameras in to be developed and do all my editing and stuff when my scanner didn't work, was gone. And my cousin, Mary Jane, said in my head, Bev, there's a Staples right across the parking lot. You can probably get your stuff done there. So I didn't panic. So I went through and I thought, okay, the only things I was actually going to Food Basics for is the things I really need is we need some butter, because I'm down to 4 pounds in the pantry, and because I've been making my medical butter. So I saw butter on sale, Saputo butter, $4.77 a pound. And I thought, no, I'll go around the corner and I'll look for the Walmart butter. At least it's going to be $3.99 to $4.30, somewhere in there. All they had was unsalted. I said, well, I'm not paying $5. $4.77 on sale for a pound of butter. I'll wait. Because it's no panic. I still got 4 pounds at home. So then I went looking for, oh God, picture frames. Long story short, I was given, some friends of my parents died, and their youngest daughter emailed me and said, I've got some pictures of your family that we have, mom and dad have taken over the years, or you've sent them over the years. Do you want me to send them to you? I said, sure. Well, I opened them and I started to cry. Excuse me. Oh, my back. I opened them, excuse me, and I started to cry because here's pictures. So remember, my mother died when I was 9. And I have many, many memories of my mother, but most of them are photographic. Okay, I can remember when that was taken, and it sparks a memory. But here's photos I've never seen before of my parents. And it was like opening up. It was like getting a new memory given to me. And I was like, ugh. So anyway, I've been hanging on to these pictures since July because I wanted to get copies made. I wanted to crop them and get copies made and frame them for my siblings, because I'm guaranteed if I haven't seen these, they haven't either, right? Or if they have, whatever, right? So I go around looking, and they want $20 for 4 little collages and $15. And I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. Then I got around to the cheap ones, $4 for 4x6 pictures. Perfect. I cleaned them out because there's 5 of us kids and I want us all to have one. And we left Walmart. I got ticked off because whatever happened to Suave shampoo? You used to be able to go into Walmart or anywhere else, get a bottle of Suave shampoo or the Walmart equivalent, which is Equate, for $1, right? Sometimes 88 cents if you're in the States. Last time I was in the States, I got like 8 bottles of the stuff and brought it home. But all I could get was 1 bottle of herbal essences, and that was $10. It drove me crazy. So anyway, I was getting more irritated because now I didn't realize that I was getting really tired and I was in pain. And I couldn't find anything I wanted or needed or whatever. So I bought some apples, I bought some bananas. I bought everybody their Christmas socks because that's my thing. I buy all my sons and I buy Howie, and they're all different. Like Briar, you hold up the big bag of 20 pairs for $10 and you say, which one? White, gray, or black? He goes, oh, black. So those are my Christmas socks. Yes, those are your Christmas socks. Awesome, right? There's certain things my kids got to get or they don't think I love them. Socks and underwear is one of them. So anyway, we got out of Walmart and we get into the truck and I said, I'm going over to Staples. And he said, okay, I'm going to stay in the truck. Well, I get in here in Quebec, it's called Bureau en Gros. And I get in there and there's like this 12-year-old behind the counter, behind the business center counter, and there's a lineup. So I said, all I want to know is, do those machines over there, can I scan, crop, and print off photos? And she said, yeah. And I said, how? And she said, well, the instructions are there. So you need to use the computers. So I go over to the computer. There's a scanner, 2 computers, and a whole bunch of copiers. And I look, all the instructions are in French, and I'm really tired now, right? And I went back to the counter, and I had bought a Visa prepaid card for something. I forget what something I had to do. And I had like $8 left on it. I thought, well, I'll just use that. And then I started reading it, and it's 30 cents a minute to use their computers. And I'm thinking, if all the instructions are in French, and I don't even know if I can actually crop, like if there's any editing software on here, I may be just scanning stuff and paying for it for no reason, right? Because what had happened is, before I left, I was starting to scan and crop, but my printer and scanner, and it's still winking at me, telling me that it doesn't like me. Because what I was going to do was just take the pictures, crop them the way I wanted, take the stick into Walmart and get them printed off. But I ran out of time before I had to leave. So I just took the pictures with me. So anyway, I get back up to the counter and said, all I really need to know is that going to work? Can I edit my photos? And she said, I don't know, you'll have to follow the instructions. But her English was not very good. So I just did one of these on the counter, right? Because I'm in pain. I can't medicate because I'm driving. And I did this, and I thought, okay, just breathe, right? And as I was doing that, I felt a hand touch my arm, and a real sweet girl, she had to be about 18, turned and said, ma'am, I can translate for you if you want. And I just kind of went, no, it's okay. Don't touch me, please. Right? So I was a mess. So I get back out to the truck, and I'm crying. And Briar goes, what? Because he thinks somebody's, said something mean, or what. He's very defensive of his mummy. He almost, he was going to punch out well, never mind. He was going to have words with a police officer once because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt correctly. And Briar knew why I wasn't wearing it correctly, and the cop wouldn't cut me a break. And Briar was like, I said, shh, he's just doing his job. You know what I mean? That's my baby, right? So he goes, Mom, what's going on? So I said, it's okay. I'm just really, really emotional, right? I'm really tired. I'm in pain. I can't medicate. And I'm overwhelmed, And I guess I said some things, because I was crying pretty hard, I guess. And I said some things like, I'm feeling old. I'm feeling useless. I'm feeling redundant. And sorry. So anyway, he said, Mommy, let's just go home. And so we went through the back streets. There's 3 or 4 streets we had to go through to get to a back road to go over the mountain and come home. And I got to the 4-way stop, and I slammed on the brakes. And he goes, what? And I said, son of a birch. And he said, what? I said, the photo center isn't there when you walk in anymore because they rebuilt the store. And he said, yeah. And I said, but they don't have photo centers anymore. They haven't for a long time. If you want to edit your photos, you have to go back to the station where they sell the cameras and the computers and all that stuff. And he went, right. Because he's never done it. But he said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. I pulled a Yui. He said, oh, we're going back to Walmart, I take it. I said, yes, we're going back. So we get back to Walmart. And we get all the way back to the far back corner of the store. And I see photo center. And I'm got my cart and I'm going for it, right? None of the picture things had scanners. anymore. See, this is why I'm feeling old, right? Because I'm forgetting that things get modernized and I don't go out shopping that much because I don't like it. Okay, I'm not one of those women who likes to shop. You know, I can have a gazillion dollars and as long as my electric cart's going fine, but if I don't find something I want, what's the point of the joy, right? So I get there and there's no scanning beds. So she said, oh yeah, another 12-year-old, you can scan the photos here. So you put them in this slot and then I started punching the thing. Okay, I'm in my zone. I know what I'm doing now, right? And then I realized, no, this is just to copy the photos. It's not to scan them. There's no editing software. And Briar goes, look. And I said, yeah, I know that I can use a memory stick in any one of these ones, but I didn't bring it. So I'm back to square one, but at least I know that I can go home and once my printer starts to work, I'll be able to scan them, crop them, put them on a stick and go back and print them. Okay. That was exhausting. It was exhausting. So Briar said, okay. So then we wandered around Walmart some more. And I got my shampoo. And I, you know, there was a reason for me to go back because I got the mouse bait things for my mouse poison trap things, hotel things. And I've been looking everywhere for them. So we get in the truck and Briar goes, are you all right? And I said, I just realized that I had no idea how well this was working for my pain when I had to go an entire day without it because I was driving. Wow. I would hate to have chronic pain issues and be a truck driver or a delivery person. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, it would be different if I was, say, working at my bakery or at the bakery where I used to work. I could medicate orally with edibles and still function, but you can't drive. So it's like you know, but I had to figure, there were some things I had to think about, you know. I had my son with me who was willing to get out. I pulled into the bank, he automatically put out his hand for my bank card. I pull into the gas station, he automatically gets out to pump my gas. You know what I mean? My son, my 25-year-old son, gave up his Friday night. Well, he was only going to play video games and stuff anyway, but gave up his Friday night to make sure I had the things I needed and I had someone there with me. This is one of the reasons I don't shop alone anymore, because it gets pain and especially when, like I'm in pain all the time, even when I'm medicated. But you don't realize that the medication, the natural medication, doesn't kill the pain. It just helps you manage it. So I'm always in pain. I just didn't realize how well I was managing it until I couldn't have it. So, but there's that age-old thing that I have to always keep in front of me, right? And that is, I have people who love me. I have people who make sure that I have a life. Because if it wasn't for Howard and wasn't for my kids and my friends, I'd be stuck in an apartment somewhere, not managing well at all. I wouldn't have a life. Howard? He's asleep. So it's really hard to be negative when you're surrounded by blessings. You just gotta remember where to look for them. And tonight, I had to look no farther than my son jumping out and pumping gas, going into the bank for me, coming home, and my husband coming out in his boxers to unload the truck for me. I'm a really blessed woman. And no matter how crappy things get, folks, you can't stay negative if you've got blessings to count. Because while you're counting them, there's no room for negativity. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, every time a negative thought comes in, don't buy it. Count a blessing instead. I love you guys. Take care. God bless.